This market, that we're entering has been in existence for a little over a year now. And it's still very much at the outset. In other words, when you have only 300 million users out of 4 billion, it's still the very beginning. And more importantly, there's still a lot of pain points to be addressed. And the pain points, you know them. Users will complain about battery life, they will complain about security, they will complain about the quality of the voice experience, they will complain about a lot of different aspects. So as long as there is pain points, as long as not all the answers of the consumers are being met, there is opportunity. So our ambition is to become a leader in this market. We're not entering this business to just dip our toe in the water. We're not entering this business to have some marginal incremental activity in addition to our PC activity. We're entering it to be a leader. So as Roger mentioned, we're already a leader today in the mobile data space. We're #2 worldwide across all form factors in notebook, netbook. We think we will become #1. We hope we will become #1 sooner rather than later, but we think we can and we think we will. We're #2 worldwide in notebooks. We're #1 worldwide in netbook, which is remarkable given that we were not the first one to enter this market. And our ambition in the smartphone business is to be amongst the top 5 within, I'd say, 3 to 5 years, if I gave it a little bit of a hedge factor. So in so doing, what we become is probably the only company who can offer a wide array of mobile data devices of any size. So we're leaders in big sizes, which are netbook and notebook, and now we enter the smaller size, the smaller form factor, in which we also want to take a leadership position. So how do we deliver on that? It's easy to say here on the stage, it's easy to do PowerPoints, but we need to have a plan. So we have a plan which will sound very simple, and I'll elaborate on each point, but you'll see that there's more to it than just the one bullet point you'll see. #1 is the right products to market. Easy to say, but you'll understand when I go through it why it's actually very relevant. #2, UI, user experience. A telephone, a smartphone, it's very much about not just the hardware, but about the user experience as you use the device. #3, stretching the Acer brand. #4, investing in R&D. And #5, setting a dedicated business group. So let me right products to market. One of the advantages, perhaps, of being a newcomer is that hopefully we know what we know, but more importantly, perhaps, we know what we don't know. And so we did not enter this market feeling that we had any preconceived notions, that we knew exactly what the users wanted. As Roger mentioned, we went out and bought the technology, the acquisition of E10, but then we engaged also in the first few months of this activity into a deep, deep research exercise. So we interviewed about 33,000 consumers on 3 continents, in Asia, in Europe, Middle East, and in the North American market. We conducted focus groups, about 40 some odd focus groups, in also 3 continents. And this research exercise is ongoing. We continue, we update this data, we continuously test new concepts and new products with a large user base. And so it gave us the benefit of understanding the users and their segmentation. So very clearly, the smartphone market for us is clearly segmented in 6 different segments, actually. I'm not going to take you through all of the segments because A, it will take a little while, and B, some of that is data that we keep very precious to our hearts because it's very competitive as far as competitive information goes. But one size does not fit all is the takeaway from that research. The Swiss knife approach to the smartphone, in our opinion, does not work. There are clear different segments according to the usage. It's not a segmentation that we drove by gender or by income level. All of that comes as a subset. But the clear interest we had was, what do people do with these devices? What do they use them for? And what we discovered in so doing, in this research, is that not everybody does the same with their devices. As an example, some people will be very focused on, focused on being information-centric. So they'll want to do a lot of text, a lot of email. You can think of some devices in the market that will address this particular segment. They will do little in terms of internet browsing, they will do little in terms of picture taking, and maybe even little in terms of voice. Then there are other segment, which is people who use most of the functionality of the device. They will browse the internet, they will take pictures and upload those pictures, they will use the voice functionality, they will do email and text messaging, they will do all of that, right? And they fit then from this usage come different purchasing criteria and come different set of sometimes demographics. So everything we do in our products is driven by this segmentation. Second is a priority to user experience. So I'll take you through at the end of this presentation some of the screenshots of the UI. But clearly, for us, the user experience will come in two flavors. Number one is simply the hardware design. How does the product look? What is the ID design? You know, is it something that I want to own? So ID design matters, but user interface matters as well. And I'll take you through that at the tail end of this presentation. Stretching the brand. Again, Roger alluded to this. We realize that it's not because we know how to make PCs that we know how to make phones. There are different animals. There are different products, there are different technologies, there are different consumers, there are different customers. So the first leg of going into this market was, how do we go about acquiring the technology? So this is what led us to acquire E10. E10 was the second largest Taiwanese manufacturer of smartphone. They were well known for the high technology of the product, strong engineering background, and that was perfect for us because we did not necessarily want to acquire a large install base or a revenue stream. We were particularly interested in having the technology. So we acquired technology. Then step number two is, what do we marry this technology with? Well, we can marry it with the brand, Acer brand. Why the brand? Well, because it's a well-known brand. We run a lot of tests on this as well, and learned that there is a very strong brand name recognition now around the world, aided or non-aided, very strong brand name recognition around Acer, and associated to core values that matter to us, such as performance, such as value for the consumer, and a strong loyalty to the brand. That on top of having the established user base we have, because we have a very strong user base around the world, we felt that the brand could easily be stretched into the space of smartphones, and with the proper amount of promotion and marketing would be recognized as a premium brand in the smartphone. A lot of worldwide brand recognition and brand promotion efforts, such as sponsoring the Olympic Games or sponsoring F1 racing. We do all of these things. R&D, I've alluded to this. This was the integration of E10, but since we have acquired of E10, we've already increased the number of engineers in the company by almost 40%. Finally, of course, continue to invest in software and in user experience. And finally, fifth point of the plan is to have a dedicated business group. And the reason for that is because we realized that this is a different business. I'd like to take you through the line of products that we're announcing today. So we'll talk first about the products that are shipping now, and then I'll give you a preview on some of the products that will launch starting in September, October timeframe. I thank you for your attention.